Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today for another video. So those who watch the channel regularly will have noticed that I've done a couple of videos recently on the Nanphone CB8500, and this is a CB radio, but the quirky thing about it is that it's a CB radio with a car stereo incorporated into it. And although it's really modern in the way that it has things like Bluetooth connectivity and supports SD cards and USB and much more, a few people commented on those videos saying that the concept was actually nothing new. And it's true, and I didn't actually know this at the time. So I've done a bit of research on CB and car radio hybrids from back in the golden days of CB radio, ranging mainly from the 1970s and 80s. But some of these were produced up until the 1990s. Now, none of them are in production anymore, and some of them incorporate things like cassette decks and 8-track players, so wouldn't really fit well in today's modern cars. And most of these models actually originated out of the USA. And they came in a similar configuration to the Nanphone that I reviewed, with an FM and AM antenna jack on the back, along with a CB socket for an antenna. So I just thought I'd do a short video to wrap up the series, looking at some of these vintage radios. So we'll start with the Cobra In range. This is the range that they called the In range. So these radios came with different faceplates and many parts to fit almost any car, and actually required quite a complicated installation process. So the first one is the Cobra 45 XLR, and it looks like a regular car stereo but has the channel display and quite a nice signal meter on the front. Then came the Cobra 46 XLR, and this was similar to the 45 but had more functions and a larger channel select knob. And then along came the Cobra 47 XLR. This was a more feature-packed version, and this had the channel readout on the microphone itself, which I thought was quite unusual. And then finally the Cobra 50 XLR and the 55 XLR. This was a more modern version of all of the previous models and features a backlit signal meter, a backlit FM dial and a channel readout on the microphone. Another company that did these CB radio car stereo hybrids was Delco. This was actually a division of General Motors back in the 1970s and 80s, and they did some versions of what they called the Stereo 8, and one of these featured a built-in CB radio. Another one was the Royce 1617. This was a 40-channel CB with an AM and FM radio on it. Royce Electronics Corp was actually the leader, or one of the leaders, of CB radios back in the 70s and early 80s in the USA, and I think the company originated out of Florida. And then finally, one of my favourites is the Blaupunkt Koblenz CB12, which started production actually in 1978, and this is a more modern looking radio but vintage all the same. This came in a couple of versions, but it was mainly CB radio with an FM radio receiver. And as far as I can see, this was one of the only ones aimed at the European market, but I'm not sure how well it actually did. And then there was another few models made by Craig, Panasonic and Sound Barrier. So there we go. I just thought I'd show you some of these models because I thought the concept was quite novel when I reviewed the radio, the Nanphone radio, a few weeks ago, but yeah, it turns out it's been done before. So let me know. I'm sure there's many other models out there, but let me know if you remember any, if you used any. Let me know of any other models that you know of. It'd be good to see some more. But yeah, I think this is quite a nice concept, especially back in the 1970s and 80s. This would have been groundbreaking. So yeah, I'll leave that one there, guys. Just a quick one to wrap up this series on CB radios with car stereos incorporated in them. If you have any comments, suggestions or questions, drop them in the box below. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button, make sure you click that. And all that's left to say is 7-3, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.